Today on the CTV News at 5, severe thunderstorm watches and warnings remain in place for most of southern Alberta. Plus,
when I came in, they're like, whoa.
One of the hottest new grad dress trends, recycled wear. And local law enforcement hit the road to support Special Olympics.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. If you had to spend any time outside today, you likely got a little wet. It was pouring rain in Lethbridge early this morning and again around the lunch hour. Some areas in southern Alberta even saw hail, which made for some dangerous driving conditions. The city says with more precipitation in the forecast, time to start thinking about flooding prevention. They're reminding homeowners to ensure that their downspouts are down and pointed away from their home and to double check their sump pumps, which are also working. It's also important to clear your eaves troughs, keep your storm sewer grates free of debris, and to limit your water usage to lessen the risk of backups. Now, if your basement does flood, you can call the Public Operations Emergency Response Line at 403-320-3850. Severe thunderstorm watches and warnings remain in place tonight for a number of southern Alberta communities, including Lethbridge. A severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for Lethbridge, Taber, Milk River, Brooks, Vulcan, Cypress Hills Provincial Park, and Foremost. The watch has been in place for most of the day, and there is the potential development of severe thunderstorms with large hail and damaging winds. Meanwhile, a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for the Medicine Hat area, especially in the Bindloss and Empress areas. A rainfall warning has also been issued for East Kootenay north, including Invermere and Kootenay Lake to the west. With more rain in the forecast, a lot of people are watching local river levels. A high stream flow advisory remains in effect again for tonight for the Oldman River Basin, which includes the Oldman River and its tributaries upstream of the dam. The river, though, is receding. River levels are also falling in the east and west Kootenay areas, as well as the Columbia region. The BC River Forecast Centre has ended the flood watch for rivers there. Okay, Dory, this is a very busy weekend. We've got Relay for Life kicking off tonight in Lethbridge. There's also, of course, Vulcan Spock Days and some pretty unstable weather.
Some pretty unstable weather. Don't cancel anything. You might have to adjust whether you're going to be indoors or outdoors, but certainly, you know, get out and enjoy southern Alberta. Yeah, we're going to have some more rainfall on the way. It's going to be real hit or miss. It's going to be kind of like today. Sun is going to come out, then we're going to have a shower, and then some more sunshine will come out, and things will move off, and another band of precipitation moves in. That looks like the way it'll be right through the weekend. Sunday right now looks like the dampest day in the next couple of days, but stability moves in at the start of the work week. I'll tell you all about it in a couple of minutes.
Something to look forward to. Thanks, Dory. Well, emergency crews near Sundre are working to contain a massive oil leak from a pipeline. Up to 3,000 barrels of crude oil spilled last night from a Plains Midstream Canada pipeline into a creek that feeds the Red Deer River, which of course could affect red deer's drinking water. Crews are hopeful that they can contain the spill, but Bruce Beatty, Reeve of Mountain View County, says the rain-swollen river is moving very fast, so the oil could be hard to contain. A community group says rural homeowners and not the energy companies were the first to notice the spill. A golf trip to the Okanagan has turned tragic for two Alberta men. One man is dead after an accident involving a golf cart at the Predator Ridge Resort south of Vernon. Another man is seriously injured. Police say the golf cart rolled last night. We're told one man is from Calgary, the other from Edmonton. One man was dead at the scene and the other was airlifted to hospital. The Mounties are still investigating. And Lethbridge Regional Police have wrapped up an investigation into a suspicious man who was seen near the Henderson Lake Playground on several occasions this past week. And during one incident, the man made inappropriate comments and began to pull down his pants before being told to stop. Police have since spoken to the individual, and they say it was a miscommunication compounded by a medical condition that resulted in some added confusion. They say they have no further concerns about the incident. Well, the latest job figures show unemployment rates in southern Alberta is among the lowest in the province. The current unemployment rate is 4.6% for May. That's down slightly from April and down 2.2% from what it was in May of last year. The Lethbridge Medicine Hat rate is the 4th lowest unemployment rate in Alberta. The biggest gains are in the hospitality, agriculture, transportation, manufacturing, and construction industries.
April, May, June, you normally see ramp-ups in construction, agriculture, hospitality, and those are the areas that had job growth this month. Interesting thing, though, is that compared to the same time last year, we're down 2 full percent points. It was 6.8% last year at this time. So you can see the recovery that's happening.
And while the Labour Force Bulletin combines the figures in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, a further breakdown shows the unemployment rate in Lethbridge is actually lower than the gas city. Economic Development Lethbridge says there could even be a shortage of workers in the restaurant and hospitality sector before the summer is over. There are warnings that a bill designed to prevent corruption on First Nations could lead to abuse of power and less public consultation with voters. Mike Frank is a First Nations policy advisor and has been electoral officer during band and provincial elections. He's concerned about some of the provisions included in Bill S6, a new law aimed at solving internal problems. But Frank says the bill, which is also known as the First Nations Election Act, would allow chief and council to abuse their powers and arbitrarily reduce the number of elected officials. He says the act also allows the government to impose Bill S6 without consulting band members.
The impact of this bill would have long-reaching consequences that people would not clearly understand, and it's just too soon to know. And in discussions with INAC, Indian Affairs, they'll be hosting information sharing sessions, but not until the fall. And whether that'll take place in Alberta or not is unknown.
Local law enforcement officials are on their way to Edmonton in support of Special Olympics. The 7th annual Law Enforcement Ride kicked off from the Lethbridge Courthouse this morning. There are 17 riders that will be cycling different legs of the 27-hour journey to Edmonton. The riders are from the Lethbridge Regional Police Service, Taber Police, RCMP, and Sheriff's Department. And all of those involved say the event is about the support of Special Olympic athletes.
My first event was just something that I went to because then after I saw the athletes and their appreciation and their love for their sport and all that, I was hooked. That's why it's important, because these individuals with intellectual disability should have the same opportunity as anybody else to participate and to grow and to be just more excited about life.
This year's event has already raised $20,000 for Special Olympics. And a local business is pedaling for support for its 100-mile ride. At least 65 people have already signed up, but organizers hope to have a total of 100 riders for the June 16th event. This year's ride is dedicated to Chase, a 4-year-old boy with Down syndrome. His mom works at the Able Dental Group, which organizes the charity fundraiser. Dr. Brian Murray started the ride as a way to give back to the community. And this year, proceeds will go to Lethbridge Community Living Association and the Public School District's Poverty Intervention Program.
The Lethbridge Association for Community Living uses some of the proceeds for this to help families explore and cultivate opportunities for their loved one with a disability to be meaningfully engaged in the community.
You know, the additional dollars go to our Poverty Intervention Committee, and with that, we're able to support school breakfast or lunch programs, but more importantly, there's individual students who may want to participate in an activity but perhaps can't afford the fees, and so this might enable us to have a source of funds to support that student.
So here's how this ride works. Participants will be dropped off at the border between BC and Alberta and then ride their bikes 100 miles to Lethbridge. You can also do shorter distances, though, from Pincher Creek or Fort Macleod. You can join the ride or make a donation in person at Able Dental or online at abledentalgroup.com. City food banks are asking you to give up a pound of food. This weekend, Lethbridge and Interfaith Food Banks are launching a citywide food drive called Target Hunger. All week, volunteers have been dropping off yellow bags at every home in the city, and they're asking you to fill it up with 1 pound of food for every person that lives in your house, and then hang the bag on your front door by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Volunteers will be collecting the bags tomorrow. The food bank hopes to collect 100,000 pounds of food. Well, the school year is drawing to a close, and that means thousands of young women are searching for the perfect graduation dress. And while costs will add up for some, others have found a very different solution for the perfect party dress without the hefty price tag. Daryl Rumbold reports.
To the untrained eye, it's yesterday's math homework. And these, everyday plastic bags. But in the hands of Kara Koskowicz and Dorothy Graham, they're designer threads, transforming these 17-year-old girls into the belles of the ball.
When I came in, they're like, whoa.
Dorothy Graham and Kara Koskowicz.
There was Kara in her math homework dress and Dorothy in her grocery bag gown.
I think people were really taken aback. A lot of people said they didn't know it was plastic bags or paper, and then they saw Safeway and they're like, what is going on?
The reaction was exactly what they'd hoped for.
One of my friends said, as if you actually look good. I took that as a compliment. I thought that was pretty funny.
79 plastic bags plus roughly 75 sheets of paper equaled a whole lot of fun.
I kind of tossed around the idea because I didn't really want to pay the big bucks for a dress. I'm going to wear it once.
For Kara, the answers to her grad dress woes were all around her.
My mom jokingly suggested, she's like, oh, make it out of your homework, because I like to leave it laying around the house.
So she snapped open a 3-ring binder and went to work, revising this semester's homework into evening wear in a few short weeks, finishing it, as you might expect, at the last minute.
This is good.
Inside her purse, an emergency repair kit, tape, a stapler, more tape, a hot glue gun, and yes, more homework. But if you think that's last minute, consider this.
So I made my dress the day of grad.
With the 2-hour break between graduation and celebration, Dorothy canvassed her neighborhood for bags. Add to that some red high heels, and voila, the perfect dress. You might make the natural assumption that these two would seek a career in fashion design, but you'd be wrong. Kara plans to go to school to become a teacher, and Dorothy wants to be a nurse, meaning their fashion careers begin and end with one night they'll never forget. Daryl Rummelt, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Now, Koskowicz admits that she broke her sewing machine twice trying to assemble her homework dress, but it has since recovered. Well, for one Coaldale woman, her anniversary just got a little more special thanks to a scratch and win ticket. Sylvie Schweitzer won $100,000 on a Set for Life scratch ticket that she bought on her wedding anniversary. She bought the ticket at the 7-Eleven on Mare McGrath Drive and 4th Avenue South in Lethbridge. Sylvie didn't scratch the ticket, though, until she got home. And at first, she thought it was worthless. She threw it in a cup and then noticed the long string of zeros. Sylvie plans on using the windfall for home upgrades and sharing with family and then banking the rest. Speaking of money, Looney closed on an up note today. Here are the final numbers for the week.